PowerPoints. For your informative and persuasive speeches, you will be creating PowerPoints to increase the visual impact of your speech. This is not to show how fancy a PowerPoint you can make, but how simple pictures can help you present the speech. Don't forget to practice with your PowerPoint. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about visualization. Visualization is the idea that there are visual things around us at all times. When we talk about the history of communication, the world began and grew with an oral tradition. People telling stories around the fireplace, people in Greek theaters standing up and talking to each other. Some of this was being written down by the Greek times, but generally a lot of human history has dealt with just the oral tradition. Then, in the 1440s, the printing press began to be used actively. For the first time, books could be printed and individual people could have books, not just very rich people or libraries, because prior to this point in the printing press, scribes hand wrote every word when they were copying a book. The Chinese had a form of printing with movable type, but it never developed to the point where they would print a huge volumes of books. Nowadays, it seems we've come to the era of visuals. Visuals are everywhere. Advertisements are telling us what we should look like, how we should dress, what we should think. We can hardly turn anywhere and not see some sort of visual story that gives us impact. So we've really gotten to a point where we depend on visuals in a way that people didn't depend on visuals in the past. In the past, people could sit and listen to stories on the radio for hours, and they never wondered, where are the pictures? Nowadays, people tend not to sit and listen to just audio for hours. Think of Africa. What comes to your mind? What kind of pictures do you have in your mind when you think of Africa? Well, these are some pictures of Africa that the media never shows. There was a campaign by young people in Africa to tweet and snapshot all their favorite non-animal pictures of Africa, non-poor people pictures of Africa, because I guarantee you that most of you, when you thought of Africa, maybe you saw the map in your head. Several of you probably saw giraffes, gorillas, and I bet there's a fair number of you that saw in your head just pictures of starving children. Africa is not that simple. But when mostly all the media ever shows us are those kind of pictures, that's what our visual of Africa becomes. There are advantages and disadvantages to visual communication. Oral communication can be enhanced when visual aids are used. However, a visual aid with the wrong information can cause a distraction and detract from the message the image is supposed to convey. Your visual communication can attract and maintain an audience's attention. Visual communication elements should involve things such as drawings, illustrations, electronic images to convey ideas and information to an audience. There are basically two types of PowerPoints. The type that I'm giving you right now is one that's used as a teaching device, designed to teach a specific subject or group of ideas like this PowerPoint. The second is used as visual support for a speech presentation. That's the one that you're going to be doing. You will create a PowerPoint with at least 5 slides with strong pictures or graphs that support your speech. Your speech should be able to stand alone without the PowerPoint, and you're not speaking to us from the PowerPoint. Right now, I am literally speaking to you from the PowerPoint with most of the same words. You are not going to be doing that. Your speech will not be on your PowerPoint. I repeat, your speech will not be on your PowerPoint. So the next few slides, I'm going to show some examples of what worked and what didn't work. Here is a PowerPoint that used pre-made design slides. And in this case, it happened to work. I do need to point out that on slides 3, 4, and 5, there's too many words on them for a visual presentation. So this would work just fine if we got rid of most of the words. So for the PowerPoint that's in front of you on the Red Cross, these pre-made designs worked. They kept the red image of the Red Cross throughout the whole PowerPoint. Now, this PowerPoint that I created for you, I used a design with these white lines on the side. And if you'll go back and look at the PowerPoint, you will see that sometimes the pre-made design kind of worked, but sometimes it really did not enhance my PowerPoint. So I want you to think about each slide and how it works. Here's one that held well together. It's a group of pictures that didn't use a particular design. We've got nice, clean impact, visual impact from the pictures. The second slide has a video in it that's been embedded properly so that it plays without commercials. There are instructions for that on the website. And it's the proper length, 30 to 45 seconds for a video in your speech. Okay, same message about my PowerPoint. Then we have one that really didn't work. All of these pictures were in the same PowerPoint. And there are some multiple problems going on here. First of all, colors, background slides that really don't add impact. They just muddle things up. The pictures are really too small. Because then as we're listening to the speech, we're going to be moving our eyes around and checking out each picture and trying to see what's there. You don't want to do anything that keeps your people from watching you. And the less words, the better. You don't need to describe the pictures. If the picture isn't clearly supportive of your speech, then don't use it. Find one that works. The last slide has way too much going on. We have titles. We have another map in the background. It doesn't really work. So generally the picture should be self-explanatory and not need words. If you have a chart to show us, it should be very simple and very clear. Now the next thing you're going to be concerned about with is citations. Photographers need credit for their work. You'll notice that in your book, every single picture is cited. We can put the citation on the side of your picture, reduced in size, so that we know it's there, but it's not distracting to the eye. We should be able to use the information to find the picture. So just putting Flickr.com and Google Images would not be enough. You will also be creating a separate citation list for your PowerPoint that will be turned in with your PowerPoint on another document. You'll notice in here that the person has done the citation right below the picture. You can't really read it, but you know it's there. The same with this one. This picture over here, the person has put the citation on the side. So every picture that goes in your PowerPoint is cited unless it happens to be some type of picture or clip art that we know is in the public domain. Do not end your PowerPoint with a works cited slide. Do not. This will ruin the delivery of your well-crafted conclusion. You don't want your audience all of a sudden reading your works cited. This, as I said before, will go into a separate document. Understand that what I have just done is a teaching PowerPoint. It is not what you're creating for your informative and persuasive speech PowerPoints. You're going to be doing a visualization PowerPoint similar to something like this or the one before it. Here are two other helpful presentations. How to Give a Totally Awesome Presentation talks about creating your presentation, and Death by PowerPoint, if you haven't seen it. It's funny, but it's got some really good information in it. So this is what you're going to be doing for your visualization PowerPoint. It is part of your grade. We will only accept PowerPoints, not Prezzies. And hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, find me online.